Yeah.
Did you purposely make your hair crazier?
Is it worse? Oh. That's okay.
Okay. You look great, producer. Okay, so it is March 11th. We've done one session so far.
Mm-hmm.
We are about to have our second session in about half an hour here. Just going to ask you a couple questions. How do you feel about everything so far?
I had a lot of fun last week. I was nervous that we were gonna hit a lot of roadblocks with like the power. There was no power on this side of the basement, so I was nervous about that. I was nervous about like overloading the circuit and just like this PA system, like this PA system I got from Dylan for free. It's I don't know, from like the 70s or something. Like, did you see is it like Dr. Fong or something?
Oh, yeah, I think you were talking about that last week.
Hold on, I need to look up the name of this. Dr. Fong, speaker works, and then adds their phone number. So yeah, I didn't know how that was gonna go. I've used the PA once, but and then I didn't know how everyone was gonna feel about the room, because obviously it's crazy. That half of the basement that's off camera is it literally just looks like a hoarder's house.
Yeah, it's a dump over there.
It's all of our stuff from our move. But it went really well. And from like the band side, I think some of those guys could have been a little nervous that, so much time had passed since they'd worked together and like they didn't know how it was going to go. Some of them haven't really played regularly in a while, even like on their own or with another group. So I think all that being said, like you were down here, like the energy was really just pleasant. It was just nice and like fun. So yeah, as far as that, I don't know if you were talking specifically about.
I was just talking in general.
That band, yeah, because I mean, then Mark's release was January already.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that went really well. That was exciting because that was his first solo release, and that was my first thing under the Euphony Media Company, and we've got Willie's rolling out soon. That mix and master is almost done, so that's gonna be coming out soon. And the sampler, there's just a lot of stuff. Like actually, like it felt like it was kind of like slowing down and like it was just gonna peter out, which it still could, but at least the band is engaged and we have tons of runway ahead of that. So
it feels like it's ramping up to me.
Yeah.
Not like a ton, but it's like, you're starting new things, you're finishing projects, you finish more stuff and put it out, you're almost done with Willie's stuff.
At least something I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sampler is making it exciting too, because like you want to put together 4 or 5 songs and you actually have them and they're from different artists and like that's cool.
Yeah. And it's also good to show like your range on the sampler too.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And Vineland's range, like just the crew that we have here.
Yeah, it's exciting.
How different everyone is.
What is one thing you learned either from the first session or just from like starting your business? Just everything.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards saying something about like LLCs maybe.
That's fine.
Yeah. But I don't know, I mean, I haven't really been like super surprised about anything. It's just like really boring paperwork and like little fees and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I don't know. I mean,
details that go into
I know that I've definitely learned a lot since this process started with mixing, that's for sure. And I'm very far from an expert. And I've already talked to the band about basically bowing out if it's at all possible. Like I'll track it and then I mean I would mix. I would happily mix it for them, and I think it would be good. But like my skills they need a lot of work. So, but even that being said, I've learned a lot in the past couple months with Mark's stuff and Willie's stuff. Definitely a challenge. Anyone that's messed with mixing and mastering knows how tedious it is and like a puzzle it is to fit everything together. But that's been a lot of fun.
You could also just like send the raw recordings to whoever to mix and then try your own mix too.
That's true. Yeah, and just compare them and see. That's
just to practice.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, well, some projects are more fun than others. I think Flowers really messed me up. I think it traumatized me.
Yeah.
Not because it's a bad song by any means, but yeah, there was just something about it. And I actually, you know what? I think a lot of my problems. Here's something I learned. I learned that you need to look at the little EQs that are on these mics. You can't see this on the camera, probably not. But,
Probably not.
yeah, I mean that's basic, and I knew that they existed, but I just never looked at them. And Martin pointed it out to me one day, and he was just like, "Dude, like all your vocals sound so muddy. Like, what mic did you use?" And I told him that it was the SM7B, which I don't think he's a huge fan of, but he was like, "Well, what's the?" Or he was just like, "It just sounds terrible." And then I was thinking about it and looked at it one day, and like the cutoffs were just weird. Like it was just an odd setup, not for what we wanted. And I think that really made Willie's stuff challenging, because I think that's how it was for all of his sessions.
Yeah.
You know, so that's definitely something I've learned.
We touched on this a little bit, but what's the most challenging thing so far?
Yeah, I think mixing definitely rolls into that a lot. I guess trying to stay organized, and maybe one of the more challenging things is trying to figure out if this is really, I mean, it's something that I love and it's something that I want to do, but like, I guess just like really trying to see the transition in probably the far future, if it ever even does happen, but quitting your 9 to 5 and actually pursuing it as your full-time thing, like really, really trying to picture what that looks like and what the path is, that's definitely challenging. And trying to like do it as much as you can with your time off to really understand that, and then it's taken away from personal time, and it's like, it's that's a challenge. You know, because you need to be doing it as much as possible to know if it's going to work, you know? So maybe I should be doing more. I'm not sure. It's a tough balancing act.
Yeah, you're just starting out, you know? There's going to be a lot of ups and downs and challenges and things you got to figure out. So you're doing a great job so far.
Thanks.
What are you the most excited for moving forward?
The space. Not being cramped anymore. Like I want a commercial space. I've talked to a few people about maybe like pooling resources from like 10 people and like renting or buying a space, but I don't know. That might be easier, but also could be a nightmare, like trying to balance everyone's opinions and directions and uses that they want for the space. Like, it's just hard to work in. I mean, like, this is actually probably an upgrade from anything I've had of my own.
I was just thinking.
As far as space, as far as how it looks, I mean, aside from it looking like a dungeon, at least people can fit in here and make music together. And that was what last week proved.
I mean, with last week we had what, five of
Five
them,
musicians,
and then two
we were
of
hanging
us,
out,
and we fit comfortably.
Yeah, and I was floating around with the camera, like I was able to get shots pretty.
They had their whatever shit set up.
The amps,
Yeah. So,
yeah, but I'd like more space.
Yeah, this is not ideal, but it's definitely coming together too.
Yeah.
I mean, once we clear up more of that stuff,
maybe before we cut, we'll just swivel it over there. I mean, if you saw the Deadwing promo reel from last week, then you probably saw it. I think I was shooting from over there, and it's just all in the bench.
You can just see all the boxes like piled up. There's a saw on the wall. Just
it's a dungeon.
out.
I think if we just wrap everything with blackout curtains, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's all the questions I have for you tonight.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we should mention. I guess this video was just kind of covering the beginnings of the Euphony Media Company, specializing in music production, especially at the moment, some content creation, and eventually I want to lean more into photo and video digitization. So, bring in a VHS tape of like a family function or something and get a file, like a flash drive. Follow Euphony Media Company on Instagram. That's going to be the main spot. And keep a lookout for reels following Dead Wings' journey with us and the Euphony Media Company sampler with some of the stuff we've been working on. So thank you, Joelle, for asking me some questions. That was fun.
Can't wait to do more.
I wish it looked more professional down here, but this is what we got. All right.
Bye.
Bye. I'm going to cut this over.
Okay.
Yeah.